Faded on a track like this, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out a loud goodbye.
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Mr. Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn's channel Sweatbox. We back, we live, we active here on the channel, yes indeed. Alright, we got a movie review, y'all. Let's talk about Black Widow. Marvel's Black Widow. Spoiler review. Let's get into this, man. My thoughts on this movie, first of all, as of late, the news coming down about this movie has been very controversial. I'm going to talk a little bit about that towards the end as far as the lawsuit and all that. But namely, we're going to talk about the movie right now. But I am going to address that at the end. But as a movie, man, I like this movie. Here's the thing about this movie. Dude, is it the greatest? Is this one of the top 3, top 5 Marvel movies? Of course not. No. I don't think anybody was expecting this to be a top 5 Marvel movie. But this is still a very solid Marvel movie. The action was top notch. The casting, obviously Scarlett Johansson is as Natasha Romanoff is great. But Florence Pugh as Yelena, I don't remember her last name, as Yelena was dope. Obviously, casting, what's his name, as Red Guardian, Aleski, I don't remember how to pronounce his name, I might look it up. But, very great casting. Rachel Weisz as the mother figure, I don't remember her name either, but she was great. I mean, so the casting of that was well done. Off the top, the things that I did not like, how they did Dreykov's daughter, aka, spoiler alert, Taskmaster. Didn't care. It wasn't developed, so when the reveal came that the Taskmaster was Dreykov's daughter, I was like, okay, on with the next scene. There was no weight to that, so that didn't hit like it is, so it ended up kind of taking a lot away from Taskmaster as a villain. Now, all of the scenes with Taskmaster, the action scenes with Taskmaster are dope. They're dope scenes. I love the first scene he comes in when they do like the Terminator style chase. That was very reminiscent to the T2 chase of the motorcycle versus the truck. That was a dope scene. Yelena's awesome in that. Yeah, that's just a dope action scene. This is a very good action scene. Another thing, slight criticism, because it's a Marvel movie and I expected, but man, they definitely, and she's Avenger, so I'm going to give her that, but they made Natasha pretty much invincible in this one. I mean, not as bad as other movies that we'll get to, Fast 9, but I'm like, there was a scene when she gets ambushed on the bridge. I'm like, okay, this should be the end of the movie, because that car got blown the fuck up. I was like, she should be dead. That car got blown up. She should be super dead. And I mean, so it was a regular car. It wasn't like it was one of Nick Fury's reinforced SUVs that he was driving in Captain America. It wasn't like it was that. It was just a normal car. That shit should have been blown the fuck up. But so yeah, I digress. She should have been dead a couple times in this movie. But since she wasn't, other than that, the action scenes are super good. They're very good. That entire fight scene on the bridge after she should have died, I liked it. You know what I'm saying? Taskmaster was dope. Like I said, the chase scene before that is dope. The whole scene when they go to break Aleski or out of prison, Red Guardian, when they go to break him out of prison, that's a dope scene. All of it. You know what I'm saying? Yelena's dope in that when she's flying the copter and the fucking avalanche is coming. She's like, oh, this would be a great way to die. It's great. Yelena is dope in this movie. Florence Pugh, thumbs up. She's got all the best lines. Her dry, deadpan humor delivery's great. The way she was trying to piss off Red Guardian when they rescued him, and she's talking about how what happened to her in the Red Room, how they gave her the force of not vasectomy. What's the equivalent to a vasectomy for a woman? I don't know. I'm sorry, the words, but how they just chopped up all her woman parts. It was so graphic, and he was like, "Oh, but it was hilarious." She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was just about to start talking about fallopian tubes." I was cracking up. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. Her chemistry with Scarlett Johansson with Natasha is great. The Sicily Bomb, when they're having drinks, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, "Did you see where they put the keys?" She's like, "Yeah, I saw that. That was dope. I loved it." Yeah, man, it was just a really good movie. I love how she continually made fun of Natasha's superhero pose, and then when she did it, she was like, "Oh, that's so gross." It was hilarious when she flips her hair back. She's like, "You're a total poser." I loved it. So yeah, Yelena was great. Red Guardian, played by David Harbour. Yeah, he was dope. You know what I'm saying? Hilarious. He was the comedic relief. He was very, very dope. The only criticism I'm gonna have of the family is while Rachel Weisz was dope, I had a little trouble with her. What was her redemption arc? I don't know if I believed it because she was very much involved and knew what Dreykov was doing and took part. And then, but the way she kind of talked her way into not, you know what I'm saying, shucking the responsibility, and then that kind of let her slide. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm buying that. But aside from that, Rachel Weisz is a great actress. You know what I'm saying? She did a great job. She, especially playing that motherly figure, that definitely came across. And I think she did a good job of that. The whole scene where her and Red Guardian were talking, she's like, "You've gained weight, but you're still sexy." They were flirting with each other. Natasha and Yelena were like, "Please stop." They just started drinking. It was great. The whole family dynamic, the family dynamic stuff really worked. It was some of the best stuff. The ending of the film, the whole Sky Tower thing, while clever, I was like, come on, in the universe that you set me up to believe at this point, even though this takes place before Infinity War, this takes place after Civil War, while she's on the run. All that, you're gonna tell me that Shield, nobody's gonna notice a giant floating tower, and apparently it's been up there for years. You know what I'm saying? So I found that a little hard to believe, but I digress. But that ending, actually, the ending scene was dope. The whole her having to break her nose in order to kill Dreykov was dope. I thought that was clever. It was cleverly done. It was a good callback to her interrogation of Loki when she was like, "Thank you for your cooperation." It was all well done. All well done. Here's the thing: who was asking for the origin story of where she got the vest in Infinity War? I didn't know anybody was asking for that. I'm not saying it wasn't cool. It was very well done because Yelena, the way that whole story about her having the jacket when they were in the car together was hilarious. She's like, "Oh, it has so many pockets and it has so many." I loved it. It was great. It was good. So that was well done. I really enjoyed that. So shouts out to them for that. I didn't know. Yeah, I like how we get the reveal of where she gets the Quinjet, where they get the Quinjet that they're using in Infinity War. We find that out at the end. So, okay, they fill in a lot of gaps between Civil War and Infinity War. Stuff that we didn't even need to know or we wanted to know, but they did a good job with that. And again, let me just say this, though. Do I feel like this is a good send-off swan song for Black Widow? Kinda, but not really, because it's just, I mean, this movie should have came out after Civil War. This is the movie that should have came out after Civil War and before Infinity War. It fits in there. At the worst, you could have put it after Infinity War before Endgame. But to have it come out after Endgame where we already know that she's dead, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it takes a little of the weight away. But obviously it takes the weight away because we know she's not going to die in this movie because we see her in Infinity War. So, yeah. But that aside. Now, we've talked about the movie and such, what I liked about it. Let's talk about now what's happening in the current news with Black Widow, because Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney for breach of contract because they put the movie on Disney Plus and it was supposed to have an exclusive theatrical run. And here's the thing that really bothers me. Disney came out and they slandered Scarlett Johansson and tried to use COVID as an excuse. I was like, that is completely Bush League of Disney, and I did not expect them to do something so Bush League. It's a sad, sad state. Disney's been taking a couple L's in the public eye lately, man. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing with how they're running their parks, with the launch of Avengers Campus. Now this, and now rumors are that Emma Stone is going to sue them over Cruella. I mean, it's just a mess. It's just a mess, and we expected a lot better from Disney. What was once considered to be the bulletproof, untouchable billion-dollar machine that was Marvel Disney is now starting to show some cracks. And with the great reviews of DC's Suicide Squad, this might be a chance. This might create a little bit of a vacuum, and DC might be able to regain some footing and regain some ground after the stumbles that they had with Batman vs Superman and Justice League and all that. We'll see. This is a very interesting time to be a comic book fan. It's very unfortunate what's happening between Scarlett Johansson, who's been with Marvel for over 10 years now. She's an original Avenger, for Christ's sake. So, let's see. We hope they can work this out. But that's that for now. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications. And until next time, you know how we do. Peace.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go to the end with you.